And welcome to this Bacpac video guide. This is one of a series of video guides designed to help you understand and use some of the key features of the Bacpac system. In this guide we'll be showing you how to use the financial feature of Bacpac, which allows you to enter a default charge for your client contacts, record a target income, and then as each client contact takes place, when the client is billed, you can compare your actual income and track it against your target income that you've set as the default. Now, to access the finance section, what you need to do is click on this cog button up in the right hand side, which allows you to get into system settings. If you click on system settings, you'll see two columns presented to you. You need to look at the bottom of the left hand column here and click on finance. It's very straightforward. As you can see here, you can set a standard charge and you can set your target income, either yearly. You can toggle between year and month on these two buttons here, or monthly. I'm going to set a charge as £40 in here, £40 per session for my client contacts, and a monthly target income of £1,400. I'm going to save that, and that will quickly save it. Now what you'll see is, it saved it, yes, it saved successfully. What you'll see is if we go into a client, that that charge, that default charge, session charge that you've set, will actually be reflected in the client record. So if we select this client here, Binky Bear, you'll see that there are a number of tabs that you can look at when a client's actually been set up, and we'll talk about that in more detail in another session. But if I show you the adding a new case, that's a period of time and a period of treatment that you would allocate to treating a particular client, you'll see that my session charge is there. Now, you may want that to vary. You may want it to vary between particular clients depending on the type of treatment they have, and you simply edit it by clicking on the button there and putting in perhaps more complex treatment, £60 an hour. Okay, so you don't have to stick to your default charge. If there are particular treatments and clients that require more sophisticated or more complicated treatment, you can enter and change the charge like that. But it will be tracked in the financial graph that I'll show you in a little bit on the front of the main dashboard. I'm going to save that, and you can see that you get a warning immediately to tell you that it's actually changed from the default session. So I'm going to actually cancel that because I want to keep it at 40. Now you'll also see that if you go into a case, the finance is shown per session charge as well. So, and it's again, that's reflected as a default charge in this case, and it is through all of the contacts that we go through that we have set up for the client, because that is the default session. But again, if the treatment is more complex and you require a bit more input, you can actually edit that by clicking on the edit button there and changing it. And exactly the same thing will happen if I put in the £50, oops, 450. You'll see that when I go to save it, it's actually going to tell me something. This is a default charge, so I'm not going to change it, but I could do if I wanted to. So I'm going to cancel that as well. Now, going back up to the top of the client's record, you can see three tabs right at the top of the boarding card. If you click on billing, you'll see a record of the payments that they've made, and payments that are due, and also an outstanding balance. Now you can add payments to reduce that outstanding balance as and when the clients pay. So for example, if I want to say that I had a session today, or I was paid today, post-session via cash, I can put any amount in here and it will reduce this amount here in the outstanding balance. If I say they actually paid me for 2 sessions, which is £80, I can add that payment. It'll go into this column here before it goes down into the charges here, and you'll see that I've actually only got an outstanding balance of £10. So that basically is all you need to know about the finance, apart from the dashboard, where I'm going to show you the graph that represents the tracking of the finance relative to what I've said. So you can see here at the finance section, it's, at the moment I've got it set on monthly, but you can show it on a yearly basis. On a monthly basis, you can see that with each contact I have with a client, there is an additional amount of money put in there per session, and that's the default session rate that's added, and that continues every time I see a client, and it shows you how it builds up as you move along that line. Very useful feature there. That's the target income I've set, which is £1,400 per month. Show you that on a yearly basis. It looks much flatter. but it does still reflect the charge. But what I haven't done is booked any appointments for this fake client in here at the moment, or these fake clients. Okay, that ends today's session. There are plenty more coming, and we look forward to seeing you again on the Bacpac videos. Thank you very much indeed.